Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Too Opinionated, where today I am joined by actor, writer, director Max Talisman. So, welcome, Max.
Hey, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Now, I really appreciate you doing this. I've been looking forward to this one. This should be a lot of fun. So
Yeah.
I like to start here. We'll just jump right in.
Okay.
How did you become interested in the entertainment business, and what got you started in it?
Okay. There's like a lot of chapters to that. So I think when I was super young, like 3 years old,
Yeah.
I went to see the musical Cats, and
Okay.
it was in Washington D.C. and it was like this magical experience. It was snowing. It was like a blizzard. We went to this really old restaurant in D.C. called Old Ebbitt Grill, which like is
Yeah.
like an iconic restaurant and has these giant nutcrackers outside. And my grandfather took us, and me and my twin sister, and it was snowing. It was insane. And then we saw the show, and I just like as soon as I was there, it was just like
Yeah.
I was I was wrapped up in it, and I was like, I want to do this. I want to perform, and I already was performing around the house, screaming pretty much around the house and making sure everyone heard me. But then when I was in third grade, my mom, she was like, "Well, I can't really keep him out of it anymore." So I did a production of Les Miserables. Um,
Oh,
in
wow.
I played Gavroche. I was a little kid, so I played
Yeah.
Gavroche. But
Okay. Okay.
then after that, I started acting professionally in when I was like 11 or 12 uh, in DC, and then when I was 18, I started branching out, or younger, a little younger, probably like 16. Started
Yeah.
branching out to New York, and yeah, then I moved to LA last year to really just put my whole focus into film and TV.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's terrific. And those are big moves. So
yeah.
you're fairly young, probably still in high school. You move to New York, and then you take the leap to LA. I mean, that's not those aren't easy moves.
No, it was not. I was in New York off and on my senior year of high school,
Yeah.
and then I went to Syracuse University for 2 years, and
Oh, very
I
nice.
it wasn't a great fit. Just it wasn't. School's not meant for me. I'm not a school person. So after 2 years, I just kind of was like, you know what? I have a team in New York at this minute, and
Yeah.
I can go and try to be an actor. And I was fortunate enough to get to do Orange is the New Black and Super Dark Times, and a bunch of other stuff while I was in New York. Search Party, The Blacklist. So I was able to do that, and then when the opportunities in LA came, I had stuff to that I felt would bring me there. It was the right move, the right forward momentum with what I was writing, what I was working on, what I was acting in, and I met my agent Andrew Burrill at Sovereign Talent, and we're like
Yeah.
thick as thieves. So it was like a perfect fit, and I was like, okay, this is the team who I'm meant to work with, so I'm gonna move. And
Yeah,
that was
that's
over a
that's
year ago.
that's uh that's it's very fast. I
Yeah.
get the impression that you're constantly on the move.
Yes. Yeah, that's 100% true. I'm not. I get. I like to always be doing what I'm passionate about. So wherever
Yeah.
that is, I'm there, right? And in LA, those opportunities are daily. So
Yeah.
it's interesting because as a lifestyle, it's slower than New York. But in this
Right.
industry, especially after COVID and during COVID, it was a lot faster paced to be in LA than New York.
Yeah, yeah. Before last year, I was in LA and New York quite a bit. My preference is LA because it's a little bit slower. Normally, it's a little bit
Sure.
slower. New York about wore me out. It was that was a fast pace. But now, food on both coasts, amazing.
Food on the East Coast is a little better. I'm gonna be honest. That's my opinion. I think there's certain foods in the East Coast that we do better here.
Yeah,
Italian food is the biggest for me, and Italian food is also my favorite food.
yeah,
So
yeah.
like pasta and all of that, like that's better on the East Coast. And bagels, don't even get me started. Like bagels, they're
That's a big
basically
debate, right? Because Because that's the debate. Are the bagels better on the East or the West Coast?
No, I'm pretty sure people all agree they're better on the East Coast. It's pretty well known because like California, like I don't even know where I can get a bagel. It's
Yeah.
hard. It's hard
Yeah.
out here for me.
Yeah, I understand. I
I want
understand.
a bagel.
So I won't hold it against you that you went to Syracuse for a couple years, because they just broke my West Virginia Mountaineers' heart in the tournament. That
I'm
was
sorry.
that was rough. That was rough.
I haven't been watching the games this year because I've been working and been pretty busy. But I'm doing the best ever in my bracket.
Hey, that says something, because there's so many upsets this year.
Yeah, I'm the only person in my bracket that got 10 right out of the 16.
Wow.
Which
Yeah,
is
that's impressive.
not great, but for this year, that's really good.
Yeah, that's impressive. So just a quick question. So you got your interest in entertainment from going to see Cats.
Yeah,
What was your opinion of the movie?
I haven't watched.
I haven't either. I
I've
haven't either.
actively, I shouldn't say this about any art form, but I've actively avoided it.
Yeah.
People have been around me watching it, and I've done other things to make sure I don't see it. I think, like, listen, the thing that's cool about Cats is how theatrical it is. And listen, I'm
Yeah.
not, these days I'm an adult. So the allure that Cats had to a 3-year-old is very different.
Well, that's right. That's
the
right.
allure it has to a 27-year-old. But I think it presents a theatricality, and that's the magic
Yeah.
in it. So, my opinion is that when you make these humanoid cat things, you strip away what made the musical special in the first place, which
Yeah.
was kind of just how theatrical it is, the beauty of that. So
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. No.
Yeah. I am guessing that you are a theater fan, not just Cats.
Yes. No, I am. I mean, I grew up doing musical theater.
Yeah.
I grew up doing it. I grew up doing it professionally. I would love to go back to it someday. I feel like my reach is biggest in TV and film. I can make the biggest
Yeah.
impact. I can make the most people feel seen through this, and I wish
Right.
that I could do that in theater as well. But the truth is that theater isn't as accessible as TV and film is.
Yeah,
So,
and it'll always be there. So it's not like it's not something you can go back
for
to
sure.
it whenever you decide you want to. So that's
Yeah.
that's really great. Did you so you did theater in school? Did you do chorus? Were you in the band? Anything other than the theater?
No, I was actually, in addition to usually being the lead role in the show, whatever it was, I also directed it or co-directed it with a
Yeah.
teacher at school. So I was pretty much focused on theater 100% of the time. I was working with a team in New York too, especially in high school. So I just all my focus was really on theater. I was, like I said, I was directing. I was doing a lot, but it was all very theater based.
Yeah, right. So yeah, you had a focus. That makes sense. That's a good segue. So let's talk about things like this.
Yeah.
You're starring in it. You're doing screenwriting. You're directing it. I mean, that's a lot of hats. But
Yeah,
let's start. How did that project come about, and what made you want to do this project?
First off, before we move on, I just have to say that I find the Batman behind you very comforting. I don't know why. I keep seeing him, and I'm just like very comforted that he's here.
Well, me too.
Yeah, I'm just
Me
comforted
too.
that he's here. I'm a huge Batman fan, so I'm like, thank you for being here, Batman.
Oh well, okay, all right. Now we have something in common.
I spent the whole night like a week ago watching the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, what'd you think?
I mean, it's so much better than whatever we watched
Right.
in 2017.
Yeah.
So I think that's first things first. Other than that, it's good. It is really good. Like
I
from
thought so too.
a comic book and fan perspective, like we got what we wanted, right? That's the Justice League movie that
Yeah.
a comic book fan would want. That being said, if that were in theaters, I wouldn't have made it the 4 hours. I
Oh
think
man.
there's just a few cuts that definitely could have been made.
Yeah.
But I understand because of the where it was going and the
Right.
importance of the project. I think it is actually the right length for that. But
Yeah.
just it was, I'm still interested to see what his theatrical cut is, right? Because I don't
Yeah.
think
Right.
we didn't see that. We saw
No,
this.
we didn't get to see that.
Yeah.
What do you, I thought that this would have made a good like limited series because it was
For
chopped
sure.
up into chapters. You could have
Yeah.
done, a six episode series, and I thought
Yeah.
it would have worked pretty well.
Yeah. Anyway, segueing into my movie.
Yeah.
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 So things like this. It's a romantic comedy, and I'm pulling a lot of hats with this feature. It's it's crazy because you see something from its inception, right? Its birth,
Right.
and that was a very different thing than what it is now. And so it's gone through, I mean, 3 different titles even, and
Yeah.
I love this film so much. Things like this it's a film that I'm supposed to make first, and I know that, and so it's a very very deep passion project for me. And
Yeah.
it was when I was interviewing directors, it wasn't like no one else is a great director. There's so many
Right.
incredible directors, right?
Right. Sure.
At the end of the day, what I felt was it just didn't feel right giving it to someone else because
Yeah.
I'd been doing everything from the beginning, so it was just I have to see it through to the end.
Yeah.
I have to be the one.
It's your baby.
It's my baby, and it's a necessity for me.
Yeah.
So it was born from a place of feeling like it didn't exist, like this film doesn't exist because it doesn't. There's no movie that exists where it's just about 2 gay men falling in love. What we have is a lot of coming of age films
Sure.
about young gay people, and in those films, sure, there might be a romantic subplot, right? But a lot of those films, if not all of them, and I do think it's probably all of them, really focus on coming out or the coming out part of
Right.
a young person's journey. And coming out is just, like if you're reading a book on a life or something, that's in the first few chapters.
Sure.
Like, what happens next? I mean, there's a whole life to live, right? So there was no movie that exists that's just about 2 men falling in love. And so I felt the need to write it. It needed to
Yeah.
exist for people my age. It needed to exist for people younger, because even for the younger people who are watching the movies specifically about coming out, I feel for them they need to see an example of what comes next. If I had
Right.
that as a young person, it would have been a very different time for me. I came out when I was 19, which is still pretty young, but I probably would have come out a lot sooner if I had seen a film like this and if I had felt represented in that way. So I think it's a really important film to be bringing to everyone, and in its message is the universality of falling in love, right? And so I think it not only appeals to people who fall who are part of the LGBTQ plus community. It appeals to everyone because
Yeah.
its message is all about the fear and anxiety and stress of letting yourself fall in love. And it's so interesting because I wrote this film as someone who had experienced falling in love, yes, but who hadn't really been in a healthy kind of long-term thing. And it's only
Right.
in the lead up to making this movie it's happened for me. And it's interesting how right I was, how right on I've been. And so that's why I think it needs to be seen, because it is universal in its message, and that's a special kind of film.
Yeah, I love the idea behind it. Did the seeds for this start years ago, or is this something relatively new that you put together?
So the seeds are years ago. The first draft of this script was 2017. That's
Okay.
the draft for this script, and like if you looked at that script versus this script, there's one scene that remains unchanged. And it's almost like I just can't change it. I'm like, it's one scene, so like it has to stay.
Yeah.
But it's yeah. So that was we did a reading with me and my friends and some invited people. The producer who I work with, Buzz Koenig, came. And we just like read the script. And this is
Yeah.
2017 in a rehearsal studio in New York City. And I'd written a television pilot and I'd written stuff before, but this was a big test for me to just be like, can I write a feature? A feature is a very different thing.
Yeah.
It's a longer form. So yeah, I just after that it was clear that it had legs, right?
Right.
This production, this feature, it had legs, and it had major potential. So it's still a different, like it's not a different movie. The heart of it, the overall soul of this movie is the same
Yeah.
from its birth, but it's obviously, I mean, like when you're writing something, you go to it and you go back, you go to it and you go back, and you keep
Yep.
wanting to improve on it. That's the whole point of writing something, is to, make it at its best point. So it's been years and years of edits and rewrites and you know and meeting with other people and seeing their thoughts.
Yeah.
It's been a team effort with me, Buzz, who's the producer, and my agent has in the last year or so, we've done a lot of work on it together to just make sure that it's in the place it needs to be. And so, yeah.
Yeah. That's so awesome. So have you started filming it?
No, we haven't. COVID pushed us back.
Yeah.
We are going into production in the fall of 2020, which is
Okay.
now, this fall. So yeah, we're going into production then, and I mean, this cast is insane. So
Yeah,
it's
this cast is amazing. Talk a little bit about who's in it and how you attracted such good talent to it.
100%. So Eric Roberts
Yeah.
is in this cast, and I mean, you see Batman behind you. He's in that movie.
Oh
Like
yeah.
he's in The Dark Knight, which is my favorite movie of all time. So having an actor who not only is in The Dark Knight, but it's a pivotal role in The Dark
Oh
Knight
yeah, it is.
in it. And so I mean, that's an incredible. I'm sitting with him talking about working with Chris Nolan, and I'm like, what is happening right now? It's awesome, and he's just so passionate about acting.
Yeah.
He really is. So working with him, it's from day one just been a dream come true, getting to collaborate with him and work with him. And then there's Diane Cannon, who's a
Oh
three-time Academy
gosh.
Award
I mean, wow.
Hollywood icon. And when she got the script, she said something along the lines of, she asked my agent, she was like, how much does this kid weigh, or something like that. And my agent was like, oh, I don't know, like gave a basic assumption. And she was like, well, let me tell you what, like 3/4 of that must be his balls, because he has some big balls to send me, some big balls to send it to me, Diane Cannon. But I mean, Diane is just such an icon, and her work speaks for itself. Like
Yeah.
she exudes positivity. She exudes just I'm a humongous fan of her, both as an actress, artist, person. I just like I think she's incredible. And
Yeah,
her and
she's
I,
amazing.
we text about the Lakers. We're both Lakers fans, obviously.
Me too.
She's one of the most iconic Lakers fans of all time. On the floor,
Yeah.
wearing her incredible hats and bringing them cookies. So, but her and I, we like to text about the Lakers. It's been a tough few weeks.
Yeah, it has.
A few weeks, but I just read that LeBron's coming back in 4 to 6 weeks, so
Yeah.
that's a little better than I was afraid of. But yeah, no, she's Diane Cannon. I mean,
Yeah.
what else needs to be said? Charlie Tahan is a good friend of mine. We did Super
Okay.
Dark Times together, and we've just maintained a really great friendship. So he was the first person cast in this film, and he's been passionate about it from day one and making sure he can do it from day one. Because like, if I'm being honest, having someone, having Charlie from day one be such a strong supporter of this film, it was a big deal. It's a big deal. So
Yeah.
I love him. He's such a good friend, and really excited to get to be on another set with him. Jasmine Savoy Brown, who was one of the series regulars on For the People and The
Oh yeah.
Leftovers, and she's actually the star of the new Scream reboot, which is really exciting.
Yeah. 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 She's very talented.
Oh, she's incredibly talented. And her and I go back about 10 years. We did a theater program together called Cap 21 in New York City, and we had a bunch of classes together. And when I was writing this part, I I felt that it was her. I love Jasmine and I love the work she does. And we got along back then. We get along now.
Yeah.
We're friends, and I went to her with the script, and she just loves it, and I'm so excited to work with her. To like work to know someone as a teenager, and then to be able to work with them as an adult.
Yeah.
I
That's
mean, that's
neat.
really cool.
Yeah.
So that's really cool, and she's just so talented.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited to work with her. And I mean, then there's Grammy award-winning superstar T-Boz.
Yeah.
Y'all see, she's, I mean, talk about icons, right? Like, she is just an icon, and wow, I don't even like know where to begin with that. I mean, like, there are episodes of TV shows named after her, right? Like, she's just
Yeah.
everything.
I know. Right. Yeah.
So I just working with her is dream come true, stunning, absolutely like shocking, but I'm just so grateful. She's
Yeah.
really special, really special. And she exudes superstardom. Like, that is who she is.
Yeah.
And just, it. There's the star quality, and she has it innately. So, and you can tell that anything she's ever done. And then there's Willem, the world famous drag queen, who I'm just beside myself to get to work with. I mean, she was so good in A Star Is Born, and really just has some really special music for the queer community as well. And I love Willem, so
Yeah.
that's another one that I'm super thrilled about. And Terry Moore, by the way, who's a
Right.
award nominee in her own right, but also one of the last living Hollywood legends.
Yeah.
And to have her in this feature, it's another moment that's just stunning. And she's Grace, like she is. She's Grace. She's regal, and I'm so excited to work with her. And yeah, that's scratching the surface of this cast.
I know. I love how passionate you are about everybody that's in the film. So
Yeah,
so were you
the last thing I'll say is that we're working with Jake and Romy Reiner, who are the son of Rob and the
right?
grandkids to Carl Reiner, and this is their romantic comedy debut, following in their footsteps of their dad, who directed When Harry
Yeah.
Met Sally, which is arguably the most important romantic comedy ever made. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool to have them making
It's
their
amazing.
comedy debut in my feature. It's really special. So yeah, there's this cast just, and obviously Mitchell Hogue, who is the star of the Saved by the Bell reboot, playing Matt,
Yeah.
and he's doing it too, and he's just, what a great person. He's just an incredible human, and
Yeah.
a star on the rise. I mean, he's gonna be like the next Brad Pitt, the next Leonardo DiCaprio, the next. He's just so incredibly talented. And
Yeah.
so,
That's amazing. What a cast.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's, like I said, that's really just scratching the surface.
Yeah. I was reading through the cast list, and it's like everybody on there is somebody. You know everybody.
Yeah, it's really special. It's really
Were
crazy.
were you tempted to write a song for your character and T-Boz to duet together in the movie?
Am I still tempted? I mean, of
It's like
course.
it's crucial to the story.
Well, I mean, so the truth is that I actually like. I will not be acting with her because her scenes aren't with my character.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but
Who
yeah,
wrote this thing? Come on.
literally, no, but she's everything. So I would
Yeah.
love if please can we sing together just for a second. I'll do backup. I mean, like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. I've had the opportunity to work a little bit with Eric Roberts, and he is unbelievable. I mean, just unbelievable, and it's such a hard worker. I mean, he's been and done so much and hasn't slowed down at all.
No, he hasn't. No, he really has not.
Yeah. So what kind of feedback are you getting? On the film, are other people reaching out to you and talking about hey, this is something that we've needed for a long time, or what kind of feedback are you getting?
I think, yeah, especially from the queer community,
Yeah.
it's overwhelming. Like this feature, it's so important. It's so needed, and I think, yeah, especially from the queer community, from young people, it's been
Yeah.
overwhelming. Just feeling all the love, feeling all the support, uh, and that's why another reason why I've been so passionate about it from the beginning is
Yeah.
feeling the support and knowing how important it is to those people. So yeah, it's been really clear from the get-go how much this film means to people.
Yeah. Do you feel any pressure from that?
Hmm. You know what? Serena Williams, who is my role model,
Yeah.
she's everything to me. She loves to quote a Billie Jean King quote, which is "Pressure is a privilege."
Oh, I
Right?
love that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I love
and
that.
that's an incredible quote. So if the question is, do I feel pressure? Yes, but I'm also in a position where I do, right? And so that's a privilege in the first place.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's a great attitude.
yeah, so to be able to make this film is the important thing, and if I have to deal with some pressure, that's just a small minor part of it.
So have you gotten to meet Serena?
Yes, I've met Serena twice. And I just would love to just be friends with her, please. Like, she's everything. I can't even get into like all the things that she's
Yeah.
meant to me, but she is it's whew, that woman, she's a fighter. She's
Yeah.
a true fighter. She knows what she has the capabilities to do, and she doesn't settle for anything less.
Yeah, it's
And
pretty amazing.
there's um there's so much strength in her. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just an enormous fan, and really, really, really just look up to her. But I've met her twice. Haven't really had a chance to like go into depth and have deep conversations with her.
Right.
But I would love to. I would really,
Yeah.
really love to.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So once this is, filming is complete, you've edited it. Where are we going to be able to see the film? Is it going to be mass produced? Is it more the you going the like the um, film? I'm trying to think of kind of like a Sundance route.
Sure. I think I think we'll see. Very much, we're in talks with a lot of people, and so it's very much at this point like whichever feels like the right thing. We have our
Yeah.
options. We know we have our options, which is really cool. And so I'm my job is to focus on making it, and
Right.
that's what I'm really passionate about. And so um, when it's time to decide, you know, where it goes and where's the best option for it to be seen by as many people as we need it to be,
Yeah.
then those greater minds that think that way come in and kind of handle that stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because it's changed a little bit now because you can go smaller screen or streaming service and
100%.
get just as big an audience as you can at the movie theaters.
Yeah, I mean
Uh,
that's the thing. I think streaming has changed the game specifically for independent film. You've
right.
created a service that's able to make smaller films reach massive audiences,
Yeah.
and so I like I said, it's really about finding like where we can reach the most people, and if that is theatrically, I'm thrilled about it. But the there's the fact that you can reach a lot of people in streaming too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Film festivals is what I was trying to get out and got stuck. But yeah, it seems like this film is made to just be one of those film festival darlings that you kind of
it was,
see every
I mean,
year
that was
that
the
gets.
dream. and
Yeah.
I think that's very real for us. It's a
Yeah.
very real thing. And I would be thrilled to for that to be the case. I'm just going the way of figuring it out at this point and letting like I said, the greater minds figure it out.
Yeah, yeah, that's terrific. I think it's such a worthwhile project, and I can't wait to see it. And you've got so many on that cast that I'm big fans of. I mean, it's just
Me too.
it's amazing.
Such big
That's amazing, right? I mean, how great is it that you get to work with people that you're fans of? I mean, that's amazing.
that's the dream. I can't even my mom used to show us Heaven Can Wait as like an example of
Yeah,
like a lot of things. So I working with Diane, it's like I said, I'm working with people who I've looked up to my whole life. It
yeah,
goes beyond words. It just does. Like I said, Eric Roberts has been my favorite movie of all time. A movie
yeah.
I've seen at least 150 times. That's the truth. I've seen The Dark Knight at least 150 times. I have watched Eric Roberts in that movie at least 150 times. And that's like putting aside all the movies he's done in addition to that, which are hundreds. I mean, he is
Hundreds.
a
Yeah,
living icon too. He is. He is a movie star.
yeah, absolutely.
He's just an incredible person. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's everything to
So
me.
is Christian Bale your favorite Batman?
Yeah, I mean 100%. But
Yeah,
also he's in the best movies. Like those three are the best of all time.
they are amazing.
You look at them compared to the others, it's not even fair, right? But Ben Affleck, I think, proved in this that he's a much better Batman than people gave him credit for. I will say that.
Agree.
Much
Yeah.
better. But he's. I mean, listen, people get really, really wrapped up in the Christian Bale voice, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's iconic.
Oh
Right?
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
It
for
made
sure.
it made it, and that's why people love to do the voice. So, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I wanted, but I know we need to wrap up, but I wanted to ask you about "Don't Kiss the
Hold on, I'm
Werewolf
getting
Boy."
that call. If you could just give me 1 second.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll pause it. All right. So we had some important business we had to take care of there, but we're back.
It never stops. It keeps going. We can't always control when these things happen.
That's right. You can't slow down for that. You gotta keep rolling. So I wanted to ask you about "Don't Kiss the Werewolf Boy."
Ooh, yeah. No one's asked me about this yet. This is the
Yeah.
first interview I get to talk about this. Yes. So yeah, it's gonna be my second feature. It's horror comedy. I'm really thrilled about it. I think
Yeah.
we've explored a lot of supernatural creatures over the years, but
Yep.
werewolves haven't had their fair due yet. So this is gonna be a fun one. It's everything. It's so
Awesome.
many different genres in one, and it's like it's an homage to all the films I love growing up. So it's
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm me too, because I'm a big I was a Universal monster fan growing up, Monster Squad, all that stuff. I
100%.
enjoy,
Yeah.
and I'm excited for it. Do you have what's your favorite werewolf movie?
Oh, I don't even. Let me think about this.
There's not a ton of them.
There's not a ton. No, honestly, you're probably not going to love this answer, but I have to say it as a child of like, growing up in the late 90s, early
Yeah.
2000s. Van Helsing.
Yeah. Okay.
When I thought the way that they did werewolves in that movie of like the tearing off of the skin and like
Yeah.
ripping it to become werewolves, that was epic. Like that was so cool.
That was pretty cool. That was
That's
pretty
a
cool.
kind of cool flip on how a lot of people think werewolves, right? So there was like ripping off to the second form. I
Yeah.
did really like that.
There was so when there was in the 80s when I was growing up, that's when that was the big werewolf time because you had
There
the
was
Howling and
Undead.
Silver Bullet, yeah, all those. But since then, we haven't had a whole lot.
Yeah, I mean they're in the Twilight movies.
They are.
They don't have their own thing yet, and so I'm so excited. There's Teen Wolf, the TV show,
Yeah.
MTV, but not. This is so exciting. I can't wait. I love Don't Kiss the Werewolf
Boy. So when's are we still a ways out before that one gets started?
Yeah, I mean we're probably at least 6 months after I wrap things like this. I won't to really even start pre-production for Werewolf Boy. It's gonna take me a little bit.
Yeah.
But once I'm able to sink my teeth into it, then it's going to be a really different thing to work on. So that's also what I'm excited for, is going from a very strict romantic comedy that's, it's not very strict. It is kind of ridiculous and it's whimsical and fun, but it is that genre, right? And then I have Kiss the Werewolf Boy, which is horror comedy with romance and all these different science fiction, all these different genres thrown in there. And so I'm really excited by that. And I think it's really, I'm so thrilled to make things like this. And I'm also so thrilled for my second movie to be such a sidestep, such a different thing.
Yeah, that's awesome.
People will be expecting another kind of romantic, deep.
That's right.
But very funny, but very focused on the romance aspects. And yes, there's a romance in this film, but I think people are going to be like very out of left field. Very cool.
Are you going to act in this one?
Yeah, I will. I'll be acting in this one as well.
Are you the werewolf?
There's a lot of werewolves in this one. So it's when you say Don't Kiss the Werewolf Boy, I'm one of those. Yes.
Okay. All right. That's great. I'm very excited for that project. Both of them. They both just sound terrific.
Yeah.
That's really good. So I really enjoyed seeing you in Search Party. I love that show. And Orange is the New Black. And you were on Blacklist too.
Yeah, I was on all of them. It's crazy. I mean, Orange is the New Black at the time was my favorite TV show when I got to film it. So it was weird. I was like walking through the prison and I was like, what is happening? It was a really special experience. And same with Search Party. I love that show. So
that's such a good show.
So good. And getting to work with really, really exciting people in the world of comedy. That was really cool. Charles Rogers, Sarah Violet Bliss, like they're creating really cool content.
Yeah.
So I was very excited to get the chance to work with them. And the Blacklist, I mean, like, I got to work with James Spader. How cool is that?
That's amazing. Yeah. Which James Spader has done a werewolf movie.
He has. Yes.
Yeah.
He's also Ultron.
Right. I know. James, we could talk about James Spader forever because he's been in everything.
Forever. Yeah, he's everything. But he's also like great ultimate person to work with. Incredible. So really. It was all three of those television experiences were kind of this like really special, really cool thing.
Are you still pursuing, acting jobs while you're doing all this other stuff?
Yeah, 100%. I think, because of COVID, it's been a little slower. There's but I'm very much pursuing things and very busy. So it's not just an exciting time for me as a director and writer, but it's a very exciting time for me as an actor. So
yeah, that's terrific. Well, Max,
this is my original passion, my original love, and so it's it's still, I only write and direct for me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, Max, this has been so much fun, and I'm so excited to see all this wonderful stuff that you're doing. So you have to come back and keep us updated.
100%. I would love to. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. Hey, bring the cast. We'll do a whole cast.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I'll just round them up. I'll just drop a group text.
Well, so before I let you go, Max, is there anything else that you have upcoming that we can kind of keep an eye out for you in?
Yeah, so I'm in a new movie called After Masks, which is on all platforms in May.
Okay.
So just keep your eyes out. It's also an insane cast. It's Robert Picardo, and Eric Roberts is in it as well. Mitchell Hogue. So it's an incredible cast, and I'm really lucky to be part of it. Yeah, keep your eyes out for it. After Masks, it'll be on all platforms in May.
All right. Yeah. Awesome. So
made it shutdown. It's one of the only movies to be made during the COVID shutdown.
Oh, how neat!
We worked with a really incredible team, and I'm really proud of the whole team that pulled it together during the shutdown.
Yeah. So you had to be extra cautious with that one.
Oh, 100%. It was really neat just how they figured everything out and how we were able to create a feature during that time. I'm just lucky to be a part of it.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one. Okay, so that should be out there in May.
All platforms.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Very good. So the last thing, Max, before you go, where can we find you on social media?
Sure. Across all social media, I'm Max T Show. So yeah, follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Those are really the two I use. So Twitter and Instagram, the Max T Show.
Awesome. Well, Max, thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been a blast. And definitely please do come back.
I would love it. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, of course. Okay, hold on 1 second. All right, so that was the talented Max Talisman. That's he's got a lot going on. It's going to be fun seeing these come out and things like this. Sounds like just such an important movie. So I'm so happy that he's getting to see his vision come to fruition. That's amazing. Yeah. So we off camera, he let me know that it was starting to rain. So he's a professional. He was hanging in there with me, finishing that up, even though he was starting to get wet. So that was pretty great. Really enjoyed that. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope we continue to bring you interesting people and content. If you haven't done so already, please go to our YouTube channel, MeisterCon Pod, and subscribe. We would really appreciate the support. And you can check out our website, meistercon.com. We've got now well over 200 episodes, audio and video on there, as well as some fun blogs and all of the great stuff that we're involved with currently. So please check that out. Okay, so until next time, bye everybody.